I'm Claire, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to outline all of my goals for 2021. But before I get to that, I have a giveaway announcement. To celebrate the title release of my upcoming young adult supernatural thriller, They Stay, I'm giving away 5 of my favorite spooky books and 100 stickers. What can I say? I'm a big stickers gal. I'm giving away 1 copy of The Shining by Stephen King, 1 copy of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, 1 copy of Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman, 1 copy of The Circus of the Dead by Kimberly Loth, and 1 copy of the graphic novel Stranger Things: The Other Side, as well as 100 vinyl waterproof stickers from Stranger Things. This is a picture of the prizes. It's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited. This is something I'd want to win personally, so here you go. To enter, follow the link in the description below. I'm going to choose 1 winner to win this giveaway, and I also have a prize that I'm going to give to every single person who enters it. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into my own personal goals for 2021. I made a video last week talking about how I like to create goals and habits, so check that out if you are interested in that. I made this plan using the method that I outlined in that video, so I hope it's helpful. So I'm going to start by going through my writing goals, then I'm going to go into my channel goals, and finish it off by talking about habits I want to form. If you're just interested in hearing one of those, use the timestamps below and you can skip around this video and listen to whatever you want. So first, writing goals. My biggest goal of the year is that I want to publish They Stay. As of today, the very second that I am filming this video, They Stay is done. I've written all of the additional scenes that I need to do, I've tweaked all of the little things, I've added all of the little things, I've cut all the little things that I need to. I still am in the process of running the entire manuscript through Pro Writing Aid, which is taking me a hot second. I'm also doing the thing I like to do around this stage where I am going and editing back for character voice. So what that process looks like for me is that I highlight every single one of my characters in a different color whenever they speak, my different characters' dialogue, and I read it out loud to myself and see if it sounds authentic to that character. I also go back and I write some monologues in each character's voice so I can really figure out how they sound different from each other, because sometimes when I'm writing first drafts, I'm focused on the story and I'm not focused on the way that my characters sound. And then I'm going to send the manuscript to my editor, and I'm going to send it to beta readers, and I'm going to send it to a proofreader, and I'm going to get it all clean and ready to be released over the summer. So very excited about that. The book comes out on July 13th, and the cover is also in the process of getting designed, so I'm going to do a cover reveal kind of soon. It depends when I get the cover back and when I finalize the cover and when it makes sense. I figure out the timeline. I want to do a giveaway then too, so that's going to be fun. The cover reveal will probably happen pretty soon before the book goes up for pre-order. Another big goal that I have is that I want to write the They Stay sequel. My plan, because I'm effectively done with They Stay, is that I want to start working on the sequel as soon as I finish editing this one, which means that I'll probably start working on the sequel in about a week. So I want to write that book and I want to edit that book. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how much time it takes me to write a book that I'm super proud of. I finished the first draft of They Stay, I think around May of last year, and I'm only finishing it now. But I'm also in school full-time and I was working another job over the summer, so that might have something to do with it. I'm also working on a whole different book, which has to take some of my writing time. Because this is the first book I'm publishing, I'm still trying to figure out how much time exactly it takes me because I have not become a well-oiled publishing machine, which is why I'm hesitating to put a date and time on this particular goal. By the end of the year, I want to have the sequel written and polished to the same extent that I have the current book polished and ready at right now. If book 2 is not actually published by the end of this year, then I want to have it ready to go so that I can publish it first thing in 2022. I don't want to go more than 6 months between books. I always find that as a reader, if I have to wait more than that, then I forget what happens in the first book. Next goal is that I want to finish The Girl Under the Covered Bridge. This book is a young adult contemporary that I've been working on for the past 6 years that I have definitely talked about in other videos. I don't think I've ever referred to it by name, but that's the name. The Girl Under the Covered Bridge. I'm working on that right now. I'm currently focusing all of my efforts on finishing all the edits to They Stay so that I can finish all of the content production that I need to for The Girl Under the Covered Bridge. I'm writing that book for my thesis, so one way or another, that book is going to be done by May. I also want to query this book out. I want to try traditionally publishing this book. I love self-publishing, but because The Girl Under the Covered Bridge is a standalone, I've heard that it's better to try traditionally publishing young adult contemporary standalones instead of self-publishing it because you don't have the same momentum in marketing that you have when you publish a series. So I want to build a list of agents and I want to write the query letter and I want to start querying that book out in May as soon as I graduate and as soon as all of that stuff is done. Another goal I have is that I want to plot the 3rd book of the They Stay series. I'm probably not going to write it because I'm trying to be realistic. I'm going to start it. I'm probably not going to write it. Another writing goal I have this year is to build a mega list of reactions and descriptions of things so I can stop relying on the same 5 reactions when I write. I went through the book after writing the first draft and saw that characters were nodding and shaking their heads like 5 times a page. And this was bad. I have just like my handful of reactions that I always fall back on, like arching his brow or like shaking his head. And I need to mix those up and make them more interesting. I just always struggle to think of them, and then I always think of the same ones. So the book ends up with 10 million descriptions of the same thing, which is really a pain to have to go back and edit through. So I'm going to create the database, and I'm going to be very mindful of that when I write the They Stay sequel. I'm already working on this, but I'm going to continue working on it. This past year, I've discovered a habit of mine, which is I love to start my sentences with subjects. So I'm going to mix up my sentence structure too, and I'm going to make a very conscious effort to do that because I think it's going to make my writing better. I've already done this with my editing, so don't worry, They Stay does not have this problem. But I usually, when I write first drafts and I'm trying to write quickly, will fall back on my old habits, so I'm going to try to be more mindful as I write my first draft so I don't have to do as much editing in the future, at least when it comes to these specific problems. I think those are my main writing goals. I'm gonna focus my attention on these 3 books and try to learn how to publish them. I don't really want to put any short story goals because I think right now my efforts are best focused on finishing these 3 books. And what's good about all these things is that they're concrete. I can check them off a list when they're done, so that's gonna hold me accountable. But because they're also really big projects and I don't know how long all of this takes yet, I'm gonna have to see and adjust as I go to see what's actually gonna happen and what's not gonna happen. But we shall see, and we are excited. Next section is my channel goals. My first big channel goal is that I want to post 1 video per week and not miss weeks. I severely underestimated how difficult it would be to create YouTube videos every week while being in school full time. So I'm gonna figure out where a really reliable place to film my videos is, and I'm gonna film there every week. And I'm gonna take advantage of breaks to create extra content and get ahead of it so that I don't need to miss weeks when I have things like exams and COVID scares. My second channel goal is that I want to understand keywords. I've heard that this is a big thing with SEO and trying to get your videos seen by other people, so I want to do some keyword research, and I want to learn how to connect to people and reach people because sometimes it's kind of hard on the YouTube platform when you're a small YouTuber. 3. Create and decide on a coherent channel look. Here I'm mostly talking about my thingamabobs. I am seriously blanking on the word. On my these things. My thumbnails. I want to create and decide on a coherent theme for my thumbnails. Like some kind of color or thing that I do. Some way to brand my YouTube videos as being my own. I always use the same font. I do change my colors a lot though. I want to figure out what looks good even though I have no sense of design because I want to brand the channel and I want things to look coherent. So if you have any ideas for things that you think look good, let me know in the comments and help a girl out because I have literally no idea. 4 is that I want to make friends with at least 10 other authortubers. Everyone that I follow on authortube is awesome. You guys are all super cool and I would love to be YouTube buddies. So if you're another authortuber who wants to be channel buddies, comment below and subscribe to me and I'll subscribe to you and we can comment on each other's videos and become buddies. 5 is that I want to do more personal content. I find it difficult to do a lot of these personal videos, talking about my struggles and things that I think about because vulnerability is scary. But being vulnerable is important to connect to people. And I also think it's relatable, so I want to do more of that. I'm slowly getting more comfortable in front of the camera, so hopefully that becomes easier with a whole nother year of YouTubing under my belt. My final channel goal is that I want to learn how to do more fun things on YouTube. Things like live write-a-thons. Maybe book clubs? I don't know. You let me know. What do you guys like from this channel? Is there anything that you would want to see more of? I've already planned out my next couple months of YouTube videos, so a lot of those are going to be how-tos, but I've mixed in a couple more updates and fun stuff too. Alrighty, so now down to habits. I talked a lot about habit forming in my how to create writing goals video, and it is extremely important to making sure that your writing goals and other goals can be attained. Probably the most beneficial habit that I formed that allowed me to write more than I did before was getting up early. So I want to continue waking up at 7:30 and writing every single morning if I don't have class. And if I do have class, write before class. Another habit I want to stick to is that I want to film my YouTube videos on Thursdays during the school year. This means that I will have time to edit them and not rush before posting, and it doesn't dominate my entire Monday. I love reading, but recently I've been in a bit of a reading slump. I think it's because I've been so rushed for time with completing these books that I haven't been able to make time to read because I prioritize writing over reading, which is not good, and it's something that I want to stop. So I think another habit I'm going to build this year is taking at least half an hour to read every other day. I can definitely manage to do this, I just typically don't. Because I'll watch TV, or I'll scroll through Instagram. So those are my 3 biggest habits I'm gonna work on. I need to prioritize reading like I do writing because I find that my writing gets so much better when I read. So yeah, Those are my goals for 2021. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel for more regularly scheduled writing content. I hope you found this helpful or at least relatable. And don't forget to enter my giveaway to win 5 spooky books and 100 stickers. The giveaway ends on January 22nd and it's open the second this video goes live. So get those entries in and I will see you next week. Bye guys.